The ongoing story about the two little dogs that he likes so much. Tiny Paradise Lost is the title of this story. Ezekiel Kralin wrote. Email correspondence, July 8th, 2023. Subject, I had the dogs over last night, continued. I had no idea what happened to you. I thought you might have been arrested, and I absolutely couldn't stay outside all night just to watch over them, so I decided to take them upstairs. With the landlord's approval? He queried. Of course not, I replied. Just mine. I then told him my plan, if he didn't show up by morning, to take the pups to 33, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of this street, Gough. I'm going to say Guff. And I'd provide the food and walk them 3 or 4 times a day. No, they wouldn't allow that, Deke abruptly answered. They'd take the dogs to the pound immediately, and they wouldn't let you visit. Well then, I declared, at least you now know if something did happen to you, like an arrest or hospital emergency, the dogs would stay with me, come hell or high water. Don't worry about it, he rejoined with a dismissive wave of the hand. Never going to happen. I'll be fine always. Well, a good physician. His remark kind of astounded this wobbly pilgrim as he came off with such a cocksure attitude, as if he really is one of my bodhisattva guardians and let slip his mask for a glorious moment, as if his appearing to abuse the hounds was indeed another test of my mettle and sound reaction to a perceived wrong, and assuring me later on that no bad thing will ever happen to him. Likewise for the mutts, I presume, for he and they are one, a sort of canine trinity after all. Deke certainly is a street dog, D-A-W-G. I then asked his visitor's name after thanking him for tracking down Deke. My name's Richard, he replied, and we shook hands. I then returned to my Cajun thorn and said to give Richard some credit. Richard, he frowned. Who's Richard? He's right there, I exclaimed while pointing at him. He's the one I asked to find out where you are. You've been friends for how long and still don't know his name? Ah, that Richard, he quipped with a sly grin. Honestly, Watson, I think he pulled my leg with that one. Let us pray he continues to do so without putting the darling pooches in any kind of perceived danger. It is truly an understatement to declare enough is enough in this context. They and the hounds remained out there a while longer before departing, whereby I returned downstairs to collect the sleeping bag I'd set down for the marvelous mongrels. In sum, just having the pups over again, even for such a brief few moments, was a rejuvenation of my spirit. The time was right, and the time is right, to resume providing them with sanctuary once or twice per week. Signed, Zeke K. Holmes. P.S. I decided not to reply to a blah-blah realty's summons, seeing as they offered nothing I could oppose. Deadline to reply is tomorrow, and I'm skipping it. There is no way my plaintiff could win the lawsuit, except perhaps by utter corruption of the judicial system, possibly, though highly unlikely. What, me worry? Texting with Watson, July 9th, 2023. Me. Bad news. Deke just got kicked out of his tiny cabin. So this creates a real problem with having the dogs over. We'll tell more later on. I'm trying to finish my next missive. Good news, and now this. Unbelievable. Watson. I had a hunch this would happen. God damn. Me. Yeah, but the timing is absurdly suspicious, like he's making this all up, possibly in cahoots with the tiny cabin management, that is. Bodhisattva mischief. Or perhaps Deke is having a bipolar attack, and they didn't kick him out, but that's how he's playing it. I certainly don't need him camping out more often like he used to, screaming at me now and then, thus turning some residents against me when I've started having the dogs over again. Plus, there's a whole bunch of writing I need to catch up on, and he's pretty much sabotaged this. I had to take dogs for their poopy walk, which was not the plan, as he was supposed to pick them up in 2 or 3 hours. I do not want to do daytime dog sitting for at least a few weeks. Wanted to keep this a nighttime thing. But now he's probably going to be gushing with nasty mood swings instead of working with me on the dog issue. I don't see on what grounds they kicked him out, as they already know some of these homeless people can be difficult now and then. I'm thinking about calling them to ask if he's really been evicted or he's just made it all up. But they'll probably say they can't reveal any personal information about their clients, unless I'm a close relative, which I'm not. Watson. Got to be some way to find out. Me. I don't see how. Watson. Subterfuge. Me. Snapshot of Deke's boombox in my room. And this is the humongous speaker he stuck me with. Almost 100 pounds. He brought it upstairs on his own because I couldn't even lift it. I don't know where he is now. He said he'd be back to pick up the dogs. Things have turned into a nightmare in a few swift seconds. Watson. Ah, Jesus, that thing's a monstrosity. 100 pounds? Let's hope it gets stolen toot sweet. Me. Unlikely someone will steal something that heavy. Just guessing. Maybe it's 80 pounds, maybe 120. As for subterfuge, I guess you mean on my part, but I don't have any reliable source to begin with. I just have to wait and trust Kismet's intervention. This is so stupid. To be continued.